Hey guys, Sean Media just want to do a big shout out to Rugby League Culture Lounge. All the best this year, 2020.
Alright, oh, yeah. Fuck. I told you all on Tuesday afternoon the Bulldogs were nicked from Australia's specials of the week. The Melbourne Storm are a weak team. What did I fucking say? What did I fucking say Tuesday afternoon? No one wanted to listen. Everyone wanted to just laugh. I am so pumped about this. Oh, I nailed it. Nailed it. I am so happy I got this tip right. I was confident. I knew it was going to happen. I told everyone Tuesday, we did the round 2 preview and predictions with CJ. I said Tuesday, the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs are my specials of the weekend. They will go down to Melbourne and they will beat the Storm. I told everybody. And you know what everyone did? They laughed and they were all shocked. Everybody. The only person I believe picked them, I think I'm pretty sure Ados the Great tipped the Bulldogs. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Ados the Great is the only one that actually picked them. I think National Sports Loader might have picked them as well, but I could be wrong. But far out, the Dogs over the Storm, Dolphins over the Raiders, Roosters over the Warriors. Welcome to the Saturday Football Review for round 2 of the 2023 NRL season. I'm joined by Rugby League YouTuber Pro Enzo Vids. Lorenzo, brother, thanks for coming on the review once again. And bro, how was Allianz Stadium this afternoon?
Oh yeah, look, I obviously wasn't expecting to go, but like just had that late thought of just going to the game, and yeah, I don't regret it one bit. It was great to be there. It was good to meet the man himself, Hainsey. So no, look, it was good to be there. I mean, despite the train delays and stuff, I guess it was a good day to go out there.
Mate, I'll be down in Sydney in a couple of weeks, and I'll be at the Bulldogs versus Cowboys game, but I hope there's no train delays for me.
Yeah, better not be.
They bloody won't want to be because I'm not dealing with Ubers. They're too expensive. All right, well, I'm glad you had a good day at the Roosters Warriors game. Well, apparently it was really hot. Apparently it was like 30 degrees.
Yeah. I mean, I was like sitting in the sun area, like where the sun was just falling on you. So it was just ridiculous how hot it was.
Jeez. What'd you make of the drink breaks?
I like it. I mean, obviously that only happens in trial matches, really, but I think with this weather, it's definitely necessary.
Oh yeah, it's definitely necessary for sure. All right, well, let's get into the Saturday Football Review. Hello to the live chat. We've got a bit of a nice crowd building up here. We've got about 20 people in the live chat as we speak. Hello to everyone that's here. We'll go through it. Hello, Luke Melbourne Storm fan. Hello, Zenpai. Jason Reader, National Sports Loaded. Cody Games PlayStation. The Sharkies. We got Tony Punter. Who else? We got Rishi, Aussie Mozzie. South Sydney Rabbitohs fan. We got Zane H70. Everyone tuning in. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well on this Saturday night, March 11, 2023. Currently 9:44 p.m. here in New South Wales. Hello, Jane Lambert, Paripi, Dr. Ghost. Hope you guys are all doing very well. All right, CJ, fuck me. All right, Lorenzo. Let's go back to the first game, the game that you were at, my friend. Roosters over the Warriors. Roosters 20, Warriors 12. Roosters were not convincing, in my opinion. I thought they were still quite off. The Warriors were brave and competitive. What'd you make of the game?
Yeah, look, I think Roosters are definitely still like working combinations. Like they're definitely not that team we all expect them to be quite yet. But look, I think today's win is one they'll take, especially heading to next week's game against the Rabbitohs, which will be huge. So take anything you get so far into that game. But yeah, look, I don't think the Roosters are that convincing as of yet, but they were good enough just to get the win today. But with the Warriors, they were gutsy. I thought they were actually in it for a long time there, but I think some mistakes, from certain players just didn't help. So I think it could have gone either way, but Roosters were too good.
I think, look, this is just my opinion. If the Roosters had played a top 8 side today, I don't know if they would have won the game. They weren't great, the Roosters. They were pretty sloppy, but a win's a win, right? You take what you can get. That's exactly what the Roosters did. Try scores from the game. Jackson Polo got 2 tries. Sam Walker got 1. And for the Warriors, tries to Wade Egan and Aden Fanua-Blake.
Yep, interesting.
Aden Fanua-Blake, bro, who would have backed that?
Yeah, that's a really weird one, wasn't it? That's big.
Didn't expect that. Aden Fanua-Blake to score a try. Pretty rare to see that. I don't know, man. The Warriors. They did some good things out there today, but I think the hot weather got the Warriors. I think it got to them. I really do. There was an injury I think it was Josh Curran went off injured. Chance Nickel Klukstad failed in HIA. So at one point there, they had Tamari Martin at fullback. I think Tory Harris played a little bit of 5'8", and then I think Dylan Walker went there in the end. A bit all over the place there, the Warriors, with combinations and whatnot, players getting injured and all that sort of stuff. Look, the Warriors were competitive, weren't they? But it just wasn't their day. Mitch Barnett, Lorenzo, I don't think he's a front row. He's got to go back to lock or the second row.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear as well. Like, he's not a front rower. I don't know why the Warriors are opting to play in there. Like, I think he's always been a good lock in my opinion. But I think
all second rower.
Yeah, all second rower. But yeah, props in those positions, definitely not.
And look, I think Barnett needs to go back to the back row, go back to lock. I don't want to see Barnett play prop because it's just not working. It's just not working for him.
No, definitely not. No.
Even last week against Newcastle, I said in the review, I said they got to put him back in the second row or at lock. It's not a middle forward. Now they did lose Jackson Ford early on with a concussion. He did not return, so that was a bit of a blow for the Warriors, considering how good he's been going as of late. Yes, the Roosters, Lorenzo, obviously combinations are still working out, but bro, Brendan Smith, he seems to be having a few dramas of injury at the moment.
Yeah, no, look, I was actually thinking about this at the game, like just how he hasn't been that type of signing everyone's expecting him to be. Like I know it's early days still, but he just hasn't kicked on. Like injury, of course, has happened, but I don't think his form has like mixed with the team yet on the way they play.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's combined yet. It's taking a lot of time.
He did get injured, and he did not come back on the field. He was going to come back on the field, but they said only if absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
And you're obviously not going to risk him. I think he's got like a small lower back injury, so obviously you're not going to risk him against the Warriors. Joseph Suoliti in the centers. What'd you make of his performance?
His carries are good. Like I thought when
he's outstanding.
Yeah, when he had the ball, he's actually like his running meters were pretty good. Like he seems strong in his runs. Maybe his defense can be a bit fixed, but other than that, he had a great game today.
Yeah, obviously James Tedesco was a standout as well for the Roosters. I thought Tedesco, Lorenzo, was probably the best player on the field. I thought he was outstanding. Nat and Egan Butcher in the back row. Obviously, the Roosters have got no Angus Crichton at the moment, no Satili Tupanua. They are missing that starting second row. Are the Butcher brothers doing the job for you? Because I feel like Egan Butcher looks a bit out of place, and that Butcher looks fine. Egan looks a bit lost.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Egan's more of a front rower in my opinion. Like I don't think he's a back rower, but yeah, it depends what other options they have, I guess.
I think the other thing for the Roosters that you could tell throughout this game against the Warriors, They are missing their go forward. Obviously, no Jared, no Radley. They are missing their forward, no Matt Lodge as well. But shout out to Lindsay Collins. I thought he was outstanding today.
Yeah, he was. He actually played a lot more minutes than he usually does too, so that was impressive.
Yeah, Lindsay Collins played the full. I know he played 77 minutes. He played almost the whole game.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Like freestanding, that's crazy.
And look, I also want to give a rap to young Ben Thomas. He played great tonight too.
Yeah, Ben Thomas.
Tough,
He's solid. He's a solid player.
Big potential right there. And I think, look, Luke Keary and Sam Walker, they're still working that combination out. I thought Sam Walker had a really good game though too.
Yeah, he was. He was steering that side all around the ship today.
Before I could get your top 3 on ground from the game, Lorenzo, for the Warriors, do you think they need to make some changes, bro? Like, obviously, round 1, they were victorious over Newcastle. They had their chances today, but they just seem to be missing something.
Yeah, I think the first change is pretty obvious. You must put Barnett back in the back row or that lock position. That's a must. I think maybe it's time to put Vilea back in the team. Like, I think they really need... They need some X factor. I don't rate Pompey Kosey's okay, but just I don't know. I don't think he's anything amazing either. So they might need to change that. I know it's tough to see, but I think Dylan Walker struggled a lot today as well.
Yeah, look, I kind of felt sorry for Dylan Walker because he was playing lock and then he moved to 5'8".
Yeah,
then he was at fullback at one point. It was all over the place. Kind of felt for him. But, yes, Pompey and Williami, I'm not sure which one of them are going to drop out, but Williami Vilea needs to be in the centre. So if I'm the coach of the Warriors, if I'm Andrew Webster, I am dropping Braden Williami and I'm bringing Williami Vilea back in.
Yeah, I'll do that too, actually.
Adam Pompey's probably a bit better than Braden Williami too, but not by much.
Yeah, sure.
Overall, Roosters, it wasn't pretty, but they got the job done in the end. Who was your top 3 players on ground B from the Roosters-Warriors game, Lorenzo, with number 1 being your man of the match?
I'll go number 3, Joseph Suaalii. I thought he had a great game today. It was strong for them. Number 2, I'll go Jackson Paulo. I think he actually was really good. He was really good today, yeah, with the tries as well. And my man of the match, going to go with Teddy. I think Teddy was the one that was big in their win today, so I'll go with him at number 1.
Yeah, look, I'm very similar. Number 3, I'll go with Sam Walker. Number 2, I'll go with Joseph Suaalii. And man of the match, I've got to give it to James Tedesco, probably the best player on the field today. He was robbed of a try because Suaalii didn't pass the ball to him, but Tedesco was the best player on the field. So Roosters win against the Warriors at Allianz, 20 points to 12. Now, the next game, Lorenzo, Dolphins 20, Raiders 14. The poor old Raiders, bro, they led 12-0 and they blew it.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, I was just watching this game on the way back home, and when I saw it was like 12-6 at one point Raiders' way, I was like, Dolphins could really still snatch this game here. Like, they are still in this game. They can still win it. And, Raiders, for me, they should have hung on. Like, they should have hung on towards the end there.
They blew it.
I guess with Dolphins, it's just a bit of class in the end by Hammer, and, got the win.
Yeah, look, there was a couple of calls in this game that were quite pathetic that I'll get into in just a moment. I've got to say, the conditions at KO Stadium at Redcliffe were horrible. There was one part of the field in the corner there where it was just a big puddle of just water. It was really tough. So that didn't really go to plan for either side. Both sides really struggled with that. The Dolphins, look, I think they deserve a wrap. I thought they were very good. They come back. The second half was outstanding. Canberra, I don't get it, bro. Canberra were down 18-0 against the Cowboys last week. They came back and they lost that game 19-18. And then this week, round 2, they led 12-0 and they blew it. They stuffed it up. It was a shame.
Yeah, and this is what makes Canberra such a rocks and diamonds team. They just seem to really being inconsistent in each game they play. Like, you don't know what you're going to get from them.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get from them. The try scorers in this game were obviously Jack White and then Nick Chotrick got tries for Canberra. And for the Dolphins, Hammers WI for Doe, Tommy Gilbert, and the Hammer scored with 2 minutes to go to win the game for the Dolphins. The Hammer, he's been a great signing for the Dolphins. Lorenzo, he started the year off fantastic. He scored 3 tries in 2 games. What have you made of the Hammer start at the Dolphins so far?
Oh, it's been good. I think in that game against the Roosters last week, he had a great game in that one as well. And I think this week he's backed up that same form. And whether he is a fullback going forward or not, I don't know. But I think just on his personal form, he's been really good. So I think he's fitting in well.
Yeah. No, it's strange. The Raiders, bro. What do they have to do to improve, bro? I thought they were horrible.
It's weird because the team's there. Like, the team they have is actually really like good on paper, but it's just that they don't really have that like connection towards the end of winning the game. So it's just about like, I don't know, getting some consistency, I guess, and maybe just actually having a plan to like score points and I don't know, like just get through a game properly because they drop off. It seems.
I want to talk about this. The 2 sin bins. So
yeah.
The Hudson Young one, I believe it was for a hip drop.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, seriously, we've seen hip drops in round 1. We saw one last night in the Broncos-Cowboys game, Martin Tapau. We've seen him happen throughout round 1 and round 2. But for whatever reason, we decide to call a hip drop tackle as a sin bin when we've seen a couple of them already this year not being called as sin bins. This is my problem. There's no consistency with the hip drop. Now, the hip drop is a terrible tackle, and I think it deserves suspension. I really do believe that. But if we're going to sin bin them for foul play, why doesn't it happen in every game? There's no consistency with it.
Yeah. Well, look, honestly, if it's a hip drop, then it's an instant sin bin, and you should be placed on report, in my opinion. So I think you're right. In a few games where there's been a hip drop, it has not been like caught out at all. So it's really bad how the referees don't notice that. So going forward, I think whenever there's a hip drop, you got to actually report it and sin bin instantly.
Well, see, this is my argument. You've got a random game on a Friday night, a game on a Sunday afternoon, whatever it may be, hip drop tackle, on report, penalty, play on. No one goes to the sin bin. But for whatever reason, we get to the 5:30 game in round 2 of the NRL. A hip drop happens and it's a sin bin. No consistency whatsoever. And my other big issue with it is, Lorenzo, sometimes with the hip drop, you can't help it. Sometimes you're just making a tackle from behind, like the player's running forward. You grab him, around the stomach. And then sometimes they fall back and they're in that vulnerable position and you can't help it. It's not your fault. And you get penalised for it. So, with the crusher tackle, when players turn their back and they go down and, it's a crusher tackle, it's the attacking player's fault. Sometimes that also happens as well with the crusher tackle. So it's not always the defender's fault, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, no, it's not. And I know it's not always that's not always their fault, but I think either way, if it's a hip drop, it's a hip drop, and same consequence.
Hip drop should be sin bins, I agree, but they need to make all of them sin bins, not just one random game and then another game where it's just a penalty play on.
Make it all.
We want consistency with the hip drops.
Yep, yeah, definitely.
It needs to happen. But what about this, hey? 14 all, or 14-12, I should say, Dolphins. And then Canberra, I mean, unbelievable this year. Sean O'Sullivan puts pressure on, I think it was Corey Hario-Naira with a shoulder charge to the head. Hario-Naira gets taken off and does not come back. Do you agree with that penalty? It was a big call.
It was big. It was a big call, actually, and yeah, I mean, it's hard because Yeah, a lot of people are 50-50 with it, but I think it's fair. Like, I personally think it's okay. I think it's the right call. I thought in the game.
I mean, if you go back and look at it, Sean O'Sullivan doesn't attempt to wrap whatsoever. His shoulder contacts the head of Corey Haruanora. Haruanora gets taken off straight away. Complete HIA. Gone for the match. Doesn't return. I reckon it was the right decision. The sin bin was fair. The referees, in my opinion, they got that one right.
Yeah, well, especially if they don't attempt to wrap your arms around him, then of course it's a right call.
Yeah. Well, anyway, there was about 2 minutes to go. Dolphins on the attack. Katoa to the hammer. The hammer scores. Dolphins win 20-14. What a game! What a win for the Dolphins. At 2-0.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a great start by them. I mean, the last time a new franchise went on a 2-0 start of the year was Melbourne in 1998. So yeah, that's good.
Wayne Bennett, the master. He just knows what he's doing, doesn't he? Wayne Bennett, the master.
Yeah, I think a lot of people might regret the Dolphins and where they put them in the end.
The poor old Raiders, bro, they've lost 2 in a row to start the year. They could have won round 1. They probably should have won tonight. They blew it. They've got a big game against the Sharks at GIO Stadium next week. So big game for Cameron next week.
Yeah, back at home. Will they bounce back? Remains to be seen. That's a tough one.
It's a big game. Who was your top 3 on ground B from this one? 3-2-1 with 1 being your man of the match.
I'll go number 3, Felice Kafusi. Like, I honestly thought he was not that bad today. Number 2, I'll go with Sean O'Sullivan. Like, I thought he steered that Dolphins team around the park pretty well. Number 1 is between 2 players, Marshall King and Hammer, but I'll go the Hammer. I think the Hammer was the one that deserved the most credit.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go number 3. I'm going to go with Mark Nichols off the bench. I thought Mark Nichols was absolutely outstanding. So number 3, I'm going to give it to Mark Nichols. Number 2, I'm going to go with Big Tom Gilbert. I thought Tom Gilbert was outstanding for the Dolphins today. I thought Gilbert had a blinder. And my man of the match, I'm going to give it to the former Cowboys fullback, Hammer Satamuai Fidei. Scored a double, scored the match winner. Thought the Hammer was outstanding. So the Hammer is my man of the match. And the Dolphins, 20-14 win over the Raiders. Now, the final game to review, Lorenzo. Bulldogs 26, Storm 12. I predicted it, but wow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just I think that game like showed how much of a loss Cameron Munster is. I think that Munster's loss was a real, kick in the arse and how they played today. So that was a big loss for them going into this game. But I think with the Bulldogs, I think they did well to stay in it and like not drop off, and the Storm were coming back and, starting to smack them and like, get into that, what they do, like, pack in together and smash them at the end of the game. So they did well to survive that, the Dogs.
Yeah, no, the Bulldogs, I thought they played a great style of football. They kept offloading the ball, offloads, flicks, cut out balls to outside backs, back on the inside. I like how the Bulldogs threw the ball to the wingers, come back inside, offload back to the second rowers, back to the middle, or a short ball to Flanagan or Burton or Marnie. I just love that style of football. I know it's risky, but when you play Melbourne, regardless of who they have out, you've got to take your risk. You got to take your opportunities, and the Bulldogs did that. They played a great style of footy. It reminded me of the West Tigers 2005. It was just so offloading, so all over the place. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, like it was when you look at it, like from that perspective. I guess sometimes maybe they overdid it a little bit, but I think it was good to like move the ball around a bit more. As
long as it works and it gets your results, you keep at it, right?
Yeah, of course.
You do what works. I mean, yeah, they probably did overdo it a little bit, but I mean, if it's working, you just keep going. It's great from the Dogs. They deserve it. They deserve the win. Full credit to them. And Cameron Ciraldo, full credit to him as well.
Yeah, no, that's good by him. That's great. That's
And you
great.
got to remember as well, no Luke Thompson, no Tavita Pangai Jr. The Bulldogs had a few out as well in the middle, and so it was a great effort from the Dogs.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, it was good to see them just back themselves and stay in the game when Melbourne started to come back. So yeah, it was a good effort by them.
Bro, how good was that young back rower, Jacob Preston?
Oh yeah, he's a freak. Yeah, I rate this kid very highly actually.
He was so good tonight. He played great. Scored the first try of the game. He was outstanding. Kiraz got a double.
Yeah.
We know the potential of Kiraz. He showed it tonight.
No, he did. I think he was very hard to tackle. There were many times when he was in open space and Melbourne struggled to take him down. So yeah, he was great, Kiraz.
Carr got a try against his old side down that left edge. Amarillo got one in that second half. I couldn't believe it, bro. The Bulldogs were leading 26-0.
Yeah, that was crazy. I couldn't believe it as myself. Yeah.
I was in shock. I was like, how the fuck 26-0? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, fuck, it was just such a surprise, but a good one though.
It was remarkable from Canterbury. It really was. For Melbourne, Nelson got a big try, close to the try line there, and Jerome Hughes got one as well. And we thought Melbourne were coming back. It was 26-12 Canterbury. Dogs looked good. Melbourne looked a lot better. They were coming back, but just wasn't their night.
No, it wasn't. I think with Melbourne, they'll be back because of injuries, and obviously they're still a class team on paper, but just I don't know. I think there's a little bit of a vulnerable sort of thing there for Melbourne. I think they are a little bit vulnerable now when you think about it.
Well, Pappenhausen ain't going to be back to probably mid-season.
Yeah.
Munster's not back till probably round 5, round 6.
Yeah. And Olam as well.
I'm not, and I got Justin Olam must be close.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I think so.
Xavier Coates was also ruled out, so they did have a few out in Melbourne, but no excuse. Anyone that comes in for the Storm usually does the job, so no excuses at all.
Yeah, no, I think Dogs totally deserve the win.
They did. Did you see at halftime Craig Bellamy went off his absolute rocket?
Yeah, another Bellamy spray, but
Didn't
I think
work.
it didn't work. No, it didn't. I think when he gives him a spray, obviously it's serious, and it worked for a little bit, I thought, but no, it didn't stick in there, did it?
No, it didn't work at all. Craig Bellamy was absolutely furious. The Dogs deserved the win. They were terrific. I thought they played really well. Melbourne, I don't know, man. They've got a lot to work on. Melbourne next week take on the Gold Coast up at Seabus Super Stadium. I'm expecting a bounce back from Melbourne, but they got to sort out the situation of with Munster not being available.
Yeah, that's actually an interesting game. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, about Munster, they are really, really vulnerable.
It's going to be interesting. All right, I said this Titans lose by 50. Nah, not by 50, but hopefully they lose, the Titans. But no, it was Melbourne were horrible. Melbourne's completion rate was better than the Bulldogs.
That's a surprise actually.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Melbourne completed 33 from 39.
Yeah, wow.
That's insane.
That is insane.
That's insane. Bulldogs had 12 errors. Storm had 8. Bulldogs won the game.
They did well in every aspect, it seemed.
Yeah, the Bulldogs were outstanding. They deserve a wrap. Full credit to them. I don't want to give away any tips to Lorenzo, but the Bulldogs play at Belmore next week on a Sunday afternoon against the Tigers. Good luck to anyone going to Belmore.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it'll be sold out for sure, I reckon.
It'll be sold out. It'll be sold out by Tuesday.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bulldogs deserve the win. Well done to them. Who was your top 3 on ground B from the Storm Bulldogs contest?
I'm going to go number 3, Reid Marnie. I thought Reid Marnie was really good in the middle. Number 2, I'm actually gonna go Ryan Sutton. I thought Ryan Sutton was really strong in the middle. I thought he really had a real dig. And obviously, my man in the match is going to be Jacob Carraz. I think Carraz was unbelievable today, so he's my man in the match.
I might surprise you with my one, bro. Number 3, I'm with you. Ryan Sutton, very good. Number 2, Jacob Preston. Thought he was outstanding. And my man in the match, I thought this guy was in absolutely everything. I thought he was the best player on the field. I thought he was incredible, bro. My man in the match, I'm going to give it to Max King.
Oh,
I thought Max King had a blinder. 195 running meters, played 57 minutes. I thought Big Max King was outstanding tonight.
I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, he was good. He was good, though.
He's consistent running through the middle third of the field, consistently hitting the ball up at a great speed. And you know what? We talk about players that leave Melbourne, don't do anything. Well, Max King's doing something about that. He's breaking that little, curse / streak, whatever. That every time someone leaves Melbourne, they go backwards. Well, Max King's proven that you can leave Melbourne and do something. He's played for Melbourne, Max King, and tonight he was outstanding, bro. 195 meters. What a performance from Max King.
Yeah, no, that's true actually, because I guess all you hear is when a player leaves Melbourne, they don't often perform the same level. But yeah, with Max King, he's definitely proven wrong.
Mate, he gave it to the Storm. He absolutely gave it to him. And you know what? If there's a player for most improved this year, that might be a Smoky. Max King's name is in the conversation for mine.
No, definitely. I agree. I think
he's underrated. He does the job. He rips and tears every week. He doesn't get talked about, the likes of Fisher Harris's, Tarpanese. And at the moment, you wouldn't compare him to any of those sort of players. But Max King is improving, and he's on the up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree.
All right, Provenzo Vince, that's going to wrap up the Saturday football review for round 2, 2023 NRL season. Bro, thanks for coming on. It's been a great review of all 3 games today.
Yeah, no worries, bro. It was a good review, and I think today was a good day of footy. So hopefully we see this on tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, thank you to everyone in the live chat that tuned in for the Saturday football review. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. I really appreciate your time. Anyway, guys, we're going to get on out of here. Thank you for watching. Well done to the Roosters, the Dolphins, and the Bulldogs. And I guess better luck next time for the Warriors, Raiders, and but anyway, that's it. Saturday for a great night. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Ladies, everyone.